Hi. So welcome to another 404 video. I've been using this to do live remixes of my tracks, and today I've decided to make it really hard for myself because previously I've been loading, say for example the drum track, I would load the entire drum track to pad 1. So the whole song would play from that point, the whole drum track, sorry, would play from that point, including the gaps when it drops out and everything like that. So I could recreate the full track for you, but I haven't done that today. What I've done today, because I'll change things up and see how this works, is just load samples, whether 2 or 4 or even 8 bar samples, into the pad, and then they stop playing. So I can't recreate the entire track because that would have to be an octopus. And as I mentioned in the first video, I was going to buy an octopus, but it turns out you can only buy dead ones. So I'm not sure where to go to get live octopus. Probably the dark web or the deep web. It's supposed to be a joke about water. So let me just play the samples because I feel like I talk too much and that's just no good. So here's breakbeats. Yeah, so that will end. Yeah, that's it. And then we've got the synth. A very light synth. Here we've got a pad. Sorry, I was just yawning there. Are you as thrilled as I am? Here's a vocal sample. Here's percussion. Here's disco drums. Here's the main vocal lead. That's the name of the song. By the way, this song, It's Truly, there's 2 versions. This is the breakbeat remix with a sample that you're about to hear from a house track from back in the day, way back in the day, and the other version doesn't have that sample. Anyway, they're both called It's Truly, and they're both available on a compilation album I just put out on Bandcamp called Golden Greats, which is obviously an ironic title. So if you want to hear this track in its entirety and the original, they're both on that album on Bandcamp. There's a link in the description. That's me pointing down. Yep. Here's a synth bass. I know it's quiet, but when I have them loud and play together, they peak red on the door, so, you know. Now, this is the whole point of this remix. You and me. Now, that track is called Take Me Away by True Faith, Final Cut, featuring Bridget Grace. It's one of my favourite house tracks of all time. I think it came out in the 80s, but that particular version that I sampled, I got hold of it in 1991. Absolutely love that song so much. Now, I didn't have stems when I made this, so I have stems now on my decks, my Pioneer Rev 5 decks, but this is without stems. Obviously, you can just record the vocal or the drums or the bass, and it works quite well most of the time, although it doesn't always work perfectly. So this is hard because you've got a bass line here, a real live bass line. And, oh, this as well. just that bit on its own. And then a nice house organ. M1 is from the Korg M1. Again, house staple, that one. Actually, that's a coincidence. It was such a weird thing because Plus Staples it was one of those Italian rave acts, and they did all this stuff in the early 90s. And they used that sample, and that was called Plus Staples. What was it called though? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Got to Be, I think it's Got to Be. I think it was called that. Anyway, yeah, so enough about that. So I haven't isolated just the vocal for this, so it's going to clash with the bass lines. Not that one so much. But in the full track, it works. I think it works anyway. I'm probably wrong. Someone will say, I think you'll find you're wrong. It doesn't work. I'm not a finger drummer. So what should we start? We'll start with some percussion, synth, and pad, and a bass, maybe? Let's try that. That's nice. Oh. Why on earth does that say 99? That's my question. 126, 134. That's also 126. So I don't know what's going on with that. I've noticed it before. Jesus, that's not even 126. The ones that matter. No, maybe not. Okay, so let's see. Right, so try this one. Oh, what did I do that for? Out time there. Trouble with having loops in the pads is that you've got to be spot on with the timing, and I've never used this until 2 weeks ago or whatever it was. Wait a minute, percussion in there as well. That's okay. Meant to press that one. lovely. I just want it to play more and more. That's why previously I was putting the whole thing in so you could end up hearing the whole track, but then you're looking at the box and I'm not really doing that much, so I figured the whole point of this is so that I'm doing stuff. Let's see what else I can do before we finish. Ah! Oh. See, what I'll learn from each of these videos what's the best thing to do and what's not the best thing to do. I could do with your feedback actually. Do you want to hear the full track recreated, or do you just want to hear the samples mashed together? Supposed to play that one and then that one, not that way around. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it. Look how much time has gone by. I didn't want the video to be this long, but there you go. You live and learn. I hope you enjoyed it. A link in the description to the music, and subscribe if you want to see more of these. I'll be back with a new video very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.